love it. Are we live?
Yeah.
Welcome.
We are not settled. This is a big puppy. Okay,
But he loves you.
The higher ups, they demand we have puppies for you guys, and this is what we were given. This is not a puppy. This is a gigantic puppy.
He's very sweet. Bethany loves him.
He's so sweet. His name is Hayes.
Alrighty, welcome to Ask a Puppy Trainer Show Live, episode 129.
There's hair everywhere, and I just accidentally slapped the puppy. I'm sorry, everybody. Pretend that didn't happen. He is clearly fine.
She's a puppy slapper.
Ooh, he's clearly fine.
You have the title now.
Maybe he'll be calmer.
Yeah, she does look a little bit calmer.
He's like, what the heck was that?
Alright guys, so my name's Sparky. This is Bethany. This is Hayes.
Puppy Academy.
And I'm sure at one point she's going to pop up. Behind the couch is Dakota. She will probably pop up at some point.
It's my dog.
And anyone who wants to submit questions, you guys can always do it before the show. You can do it through Instagram. You can do it through TikTok. You can do it through YouTube. You can do it pretty much anywhere that we have a platform.
Very good.
I don't think that's a word I wanted to say, but it
was
out.
good. It was good. Yeah, it was good.
Don't look at my sheet.
Did you say episode 129?
Yes, I did.
129.
And just as a disclaimer, guys, we have a lot of questions. I probably have over 30 questions. We will not get to all of them. So if your question doesn't get got to, is that a word? Doesn't get got to?
If it doesn't get got.
Then you send it in next week. And we would be happy to go over it.
And where can we guarantee your question will
And we can guarantee your question can be answered on Puppy Academy Online School, which actually is really up and coming. I feel like we have a lot of people joined into it. We've had more people in our lives, and I feel like we've really developed an awesome community. We have a lot of different personalities, a lot of different dog breeds, a lot of different ages. So
because we have one-on-one lives like where you can come on and get feedback face to face. Okay, let's go.
I'm starting. No, you can start.
Okay. Ashley K says, please help. I have an 8-week-old puppy from terrible people. Okay.
They're out there.
They're out there. I have an older dog. I work full time, but I come home for an hour and a half, split it up through the day. She's in crate, which is at 4, but then I'm completely free to spend time with them. In your opinion, is it fair of me to keep her?
Until she's off at 4.
Is it fair of me to keep her? I love her to death. Well, I mean, if you're a nurse and you're working 4 a.m. to 4 p.m., you need to get someone to help you out. Like I would say, even an 8-week-old puppy, the thing is they're going to need to potty about every hour and a half to 2 hours, especially if they're a small breed dog. So when you're at work, lots of people throughout the ages have gone to work and had puppies home for hours at a time. You just have to have a really safe setup. And I wouldn't put them in the type of crate that we normally talk about. You want to make sure you have like an apartment crate. I hate those things. They're not good for potty training. But if you go to work for hours at a time, they're good. It's like a little area where the puppy can potty, and then also, an area where they sleep and have their water. Just make sure that you're doing more training than play. That's so you don't fall into the trap of just building arousal with play and then leaving back to work. But no, you're totally good. But if you are a nurse and it's 4 a.m. to 4 p.m. and you only have one break, in the middle or something like that, no, you do need to hire a dog walker or a potty person. That sounded weird. But you can hire someone to come and just give your dog a 10-minute potty and then leave.
Check out Rover. They might have people local in your area, and it's really easy. You can literally select the option that's a 10-minute window where they literally come in, take them out for potty, let them maybe play for a few minutes, just get some of that energy out, right back to the crate, close it, lock it, they leave. You can do it even multiple times a day. But I really like the apartment crate idea.
Yeah.
If you're going to only be gone for 2 or 3 hours, and it's a significantly less time, you could even do a crate playpen setup.
Yeah.
You just got to make sure your dog isn't tall enough or big enough to jump on the crate and then jump over.
Where it's unsafe.
Yes, correct.
I wouldn't even put a crate in there probably if it was a playpen setup and I'm going to work, because they figure out how to get on the crate and jump out. Look up the puppy apartment crate and see if that's for you.
iCrate also makes a nice one. iCrate, they also make a good one too.
I'm in love with this puppy. Is this puppy up for adoption? Because this is the calmest, sweetest retriever ever.
Yeah, I'll let you talk to the owners tonight.
Oh my
you can
God.
ask them.
So sweet. Okay. Melissa,
Next one.
you want to do one? Okay, go.
All right, Erica. How much water and food to an 8-week-old puppy? Is this the same Erica? No, okay. To an 8-week-old puppy, honestly, water I can tell you, but food's got to be on the back of your food bag. Every different kibble is going to have a different regimen to how much you feed, because they have different things inside the kibble.
And then, unless you're doing sports with your puppy, cut that down, what it says on the bag, a little bit more.
Well, they have the maintenance and they have the active. Go to the maintenance more, or do it in between. Most of them do now, yeah.
Okay.
Dog food's come far. And then for the water, half cup of water for every 30 pounds of body weight every 2 to 3 hours. I'm sure you could find a measurement online where you can actually plug in your dog's weight and how old they are, and it'll give you a more specific number. But yeah, that's usually the average.
But mostly if you go play with your dog, you know, and you give them that amount of water, they're going to act like they want more. Give them like a 10, 15 minute break. Check their gum line. If it's all sticky, then they need water. If it's like smooth and slick, they're fine. All right, Anna says, hello from Toronto, Canada. Hello.
Hey, Toronto, in the house.
You have a fan. I love your informative videos. Woo!
I think he's done.
Oh, we're very excited all of a sudden.
Oh, he wants Ricky.
He wants Ricky.
You got him excited. You said, Toronto!
He's so big. I love him though. He's so sweet.
I thought you peed for a second. I was like, wait.
Now I need a lint roller. Okay. This is tail.
Wait, Kimberly, Ricky said she wants him.
All right, can I please ask one thing I've yet to figure out? 6-month-old mini Aussie Doodle Loki. Well, first of all, you named it Loki, so what did you expect? Let's see. Aussie Doodle loves his crate at night. During the day, no bueno. 9:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. with 1 hour out of crate break to do his business. Low aggressive play. He will not settle, rest, or nap in his crate. He gets a 30-minute walk with some play, 1.5 hours of active play in the AM before we go to work. It's been 4 weeks. There's no blankets. Frozen Kong. We do the whole kibble, peanut butter thing, cover the crate, dark room. All right, so you know what you're doing. We play regular white noise 24/7 with a ceiling fan. I'm racking my brain as to why he won't settle. Please help. Well, it's daytime and you have a little mini working breed and some of them are just really going to struggle with that. The circadian rhythm is so strong. My border collie was like that. He was never happy in crate, ever. He learned to tolerate it. We had to have him tolerate it. We were in an apartment, you know, and we got a deposit that we that we want to get back one day. And so we were really strict with crate, but he never got to where he loved it. So here's the thing. Is he trying to break out? Is he crying? Is he barking and carrying on? Because then that really dips into, you know, a lot of anxiety and you do need to really work on that. If he's just unhappy and won't settle, then make sure that you're also working in the bedroom or whatever room your crate is in. And so what I mean by that is don't just have it be, you know, you go in crate, we shut the door, we're done. Have some of his training be, we call it house or kennel up or crate, you know, you can call it whatever you want. But it's low key. You can still use food, but low key, crate, down, piece of food, good. And don't say like break or free or release like an excited word. Have your puppy on leash and be like, let's go, calmly, a little turn, sit, pause, crate. And do this slow routine over and over and over again. And then also practice like a downstay. Like if it's in your bedroom, you can sit on the bed and have him do a downstay next to you for 5 minutes a day and then work on a little bit of, you know, recall work. If you do trick training, which I actually don't advise super early, but if you are doing it, have him give paw a few times in that room. So it has to do with more than just you're going to put him in crate, shut the door, and leave. I would do that at least 5 to 15 minutes a day, every day.
Did you reference the almost 2 full hours of active play?
But she said also walk, 30-minute
so
walk.
So 30-minute walk with play,
Yeah.
along with 1.5 hours of active play in the AM before we go to work. So let me just point out something that could be happening. When a dog plays,
probably is. After seeing that, it probably is, yeah.
if a dog plays for that long, they're in an overstimulated state.
Or has free time for that long.
Correct. So when you put them back in the crate, they don't settle. So there's a reason why we give our free time window broken up into 3 parts: walk and play, training, supervised separation, which is like existence work. The walk and the play in the beginning, and I don't have 6-month-old. Okay, so you could probably do an hour. I would say stick with an hour to an hour and a half of free time, but I think you need more of a breakdown. You might say something different on that one.
By free time, he means like your walk, your
play,
work,
training,
your play
everything.
is in that window.
Because for that first window of walk and play, I don't mind a 30-minute walk, but I wouldn't do my play on the walk.
You have too much play.
Yeah, it's too much going on, too much mental stimulation.
You're building too much
physical.
arousal.
So when you get him home, then you do your training, and before you leave for work, 30 to 40 minutes before you leave, that's when you need to have your existence work. Because in an existence work, supervised separation, that's where they learn to be around you without having access to you. So it's possible that the barking could be some separation anxiety, it could be a lot of different things, could even just be boundary frustration.
Yeah.
But you need to work more on getting your dog to settle, not trying to tire him out. To be honest, this breed, you could run for 25 miles, he'll sleep for 20 minutes in the barn, and then come out and be ready to go like herd the cattle again. That's what he or she was raised to do. So focus less on tiring out your dog physically and focus more on tiring him out mentally.
So your first 20 minutes when you bring him out of the crate is calm, cool, collected, no affection, and no play. The 20 to 30 minutes before you put him back in crate, no affection, no play. So you're sandwiching in calm training or calm just existence work. Like my German Shepherd is hanging out next to me. I know she's older, but at 6 months old, she could do a couple of hours in place. I'm a trainer, like first of all, so you could work up to like 20, 30 minutes in place duration.
And are you doing the crating when you're home?
We gotta move on. We need to move on.
Are you doing the crating when you're home? You should be. There was one other thing I want to mention. I lost it.
Okay.
You can move on.
If there's anything we weren't clear about, just message us back. Melissa.
Did she respond?
Melissa.
We were getting some live questions.
Oh, yeah.
Like our
TikTok
lives?
says, what does TikTok say? How do I stop my 12-week-old Australian Shepherd from biting me? I've had him a week. Well, first of all, it's an Australian Shepherd, so they bite. Second of all,
They're herding dogs, so they're used to biting ankles to tell the cattle where to go.
Yep.
You've become cattle.
You become
You
cattle.
have to change that.
Yeah. So what I would do is I would spend a week hand feeding 2 of his meals a day or all 3 and do a really simple exercise. Dog come, handful of kibble. Or if you're feeding a raw food diet, you're doing it by hand with gloves on. Like I don't care what the diet is, you're hand feeding. Something simple. Come, good food. And then when that's easy, come, sit, good food. Start to incorporate place for impulse control. Your puppy needs to see you as your hands as something different. Stop petting your puppy on the head. Wait till the puppy is already calm, and then make sure the way that you touch your puppy doesn't mess, you're creeping me out.
I'm trying to show the pet.
Doesn't
didn't do it to you.
Doesn't mess with it. Thank you for that. Doesn't mess with his state of mind. And so if you go to pet your puppy and all of a sudden it's wiggle, 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 you need to slow your fingers down. It's not like this. Slow your fingers down like you're going to get a massage. Start at the shoulder and chest area. And then if your puppy's state of mind doesn't change, then you can go to the head. You want your puppy to melt into your affection 90% of the time rather than be excited by it. Excitement has its place, but it's very small. So I would start with that.
How old is he? 12 weeks?
12 weeks. Okay. We have
Also,
another one on here.
have a leash on that puppy, please.
Oh, yeah. Have a leash.
You didn't say that. That's like your line right
I
there.
know. Well, I'm trying to get through.
Do better.
Our 6-month-old should do better. Wait, why is there a giant
Oh, we got a doggy. He's got a little butt with some hearts on it.
Instagram?
I don't know what this means. Did we win? Did we win?
I don't know.
Instagram on TikTok?
We got a corgi butt.
There is a giant corgi emoji dancing around and showing us his butt with hearts coming out of his butt. So I'm not sure what's happening here, but I can't answer questions
Because he had a heart butt.
under
Thank you
this.
for sending us that.
Oh, somebody
What is
sent it?
What's it
Yeah,
mean?
I think so.
That
You
is
sent it
so
to us. Thank
cute.
you.
That
That's
is
exciting.
so cute.
Someone else said this
That's
corgi butt.
hilarious that you can do that. Man, TikTok is like Instagram. Come on,
You
where are the
gotta
corgis?
teach me this
Where are
stuff.
the dancing corgis?
I don't know what the hell's going on.
Okay, let's see. Our 6-month-old German Shepherd has bad separation anxiety, won't crate unless you are in the room. Sparky, take it away.
You.
I'll join in. I just want you to start so I can fix.
I didn't hear the first
So I can
part
fix
of it. I was
it.
still thinking the corgi butt. Stop sitting on my mic.
Oh, look, you have glasses. Somebody brought you.
Wow.
Those are
Wait, do I have
cool.
glasses?
That
I
means
don't
we're
get it.
cool. No, that means we're cool.
I'm cool.
They're sending us
We can both be cool. All right.
6-month-old separation anxiety.
Heyo.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we gotta stop because Instagram is so confused right now.
I'm having so much fun right now.
Instagram is so
Instagram, you
confused.
better get on this, guys. TikTok's showing you up.
People are like
All right.
sending us things. It's crazy.
Separation anxiety. Oh,
6-month-old GSD.
Oh, I got a hat now too. Look at
So
that.
how you start out is when the dog is not in the crate is actually where separation anxiety starts. So you could go back and listen to some of the advice we've given so far to kind of give context to this. But first of all, stop petting your puppy, like stop completely for 1 week. Do nothing but hand food, calm work. Sit, good, pause, piece of food. Like really calm and cool. Have a leash on your dog all the time. That way, the moment they get really excited, they're about to jump on you or your kid or on the door or something, a little like leash pressure, settle down. Everything is calm, cool, and collected. Your energy needs to be very neutral with this dog for the next few weeks. And then you need to do crate patterning. Go on Google, go on YouTube, and type in crate meditation, dog meditation.
Or
dog.
join our online school. That's always an
I think
option
it's
too.
6 months old, which is kind of...
It's near the cap of what we
Yeah,
offer
it's
for the
kinda near
online
the
school,
cap.
but
But
there
if
is
you
still
ha-
stuff for you.
But if you haven't done a lot of your just basic foundational training,
Come sit down, stay, loose leash walking, heel, place
you
command,
need to
fetch,
get into
drop.
a program, and it could be hours, but you need to get into a program.
It's a possibility.
Separation anxiety is really challenging, and you need one-on-one help, either virtual or in your home, to really help you with this.
I like what she said, though.
But that gives you a start.
It doesn't live in a bubble, though. It's not a vacuum, meaning that it doesn't happen because of the crate. It happens because of what you've done outside of the crate. What you've done. No, I'm not pointing at you. But when you give all the emotion, you put your dog in an elevated state. So when they go back to the crate, they're basically sitting there like, what the heck just happened? I got love for the last 2 hours. Now I'm in the crate for 2 hours.
I got play and love.
And I don't know how
attention.
to function with that.
I'm blowing out the back door, like there's no boundaries. And I'm not saying this is you, but it could be you.
She's trying to give you more balance with the advice.
Yeah.
And the reason she mentioned about the crate patterning is because dogs shouldn't just go in the crate to be in the crate for hours and hours and hours.
Bingo.
Because it can create a lot of frustration, especially with certain breeds. German Shepherd, Aussie,
Hunting dogs.
Weimaraners. Oh, good God, the Weimaraners.
Okay, anyway.
It can get intense. But you want to make sure that they have a positive association due to the food and the patterning, so it's not just being in there for a while.
Okay, Harrison says, 14-week-old Corgi doesn't seem food motivated. Some days she loves food, she takes it, hides it for later instead of doing our training. Well, she shouldn't be able to hide it for later because she should be on leash. So there's one tip. Is there something I can do to mitigate this? I've tried tons of different treat flavors, high value treat, and every time I think I found one, she's no longer interested.
Your dog is working you.
So she may not be a superfood motivated dog, and honestly, that's okay. What I would do though, at 14 weeks old, if you train without food, your training is going to be calmer, which is great, but it's going to take about triple the time. And you have to, well, maybe you don't have to do anything, but you need to work with a trainer that trains puppies without food because it's very challenging, very challenging. I grew up with that style of training, and I'm really glad that I did, but I would never do it now unless someone just really wanted it.
Not with a puppy, usually.
With a puppy, with one-on-one.
Adult dogs, possibly,
because
if there's reactivity issues.
Because it takes so long to teach basic obedience without food. It really does. And so what I would say is you got to have a hungry puppy. Here's the thing. Don't freak out, everybody. Please, don't freak out. But your puppy can skip a day of food and be okay. And so this is what I mean by that. I don't mean don't feed your puppy at all. I mean you offer puppy through training. Keep it simple. In the morning, on leash, puppy come, good, handful of food. Puppy come, good, handful of food for 10 minutes, you're done. Okay, keep it simple. Build a lure where they follow food around. When they don't want any more food, then they're clearly fine. Try again at lunch, try again at dinner. It's not that you're not offering it, it's just that they're not hungry enough to work for food. By the next morning, they will be ready to go. The max I would ever do is probably like a day and a half for a puppy. If it's a skinny little toy poodle, it is very different. You can't go that long.
Check out NutriCal. If you have a small little toy poodle, NutriCal is like the gold tier to get a small poodle to eat. It's not really a treat. It actually is a nutritious paste that they can eat.
But you need to build some drive with their food, not just treats. We save treats usually for outside. We want indoor basic work, backyard basic work to just be working for their food like nature intended.
And corgis are no. We're
You
not
have
done.
your short questions.
No, I want this one too.
Fine.
So corgis also tend to be extremely food motivated dogs. What I find that a lot of people do is they're also feeding too much food because they have a younger puppy and they're feeding the adult amount for when the dog is older, and also they could be doing the active feeding amount. What you got to check out is if you're constantly only giving half of this pouch of food or half of this bowl of food through training and they stop at that point,
They might
stop
be
trying
fine.
to give more. Cut the other half of that meal away for 2-3 weeks.
They're supposed to have a waist.
Correct. And when that waist forms again and they start getting a little bit more appetite again as they're getting older and bigger, then you can start slowly adding a little bit more food to find the level that they actually need.
By 5-6 months old, you should start to see a waist. Okay.
Yep.
Natea says, I need a puppy schedule. Okay, so you should have been given a puppy schedule because you said, I need a puppy schedule. But one that
Wait. How are we doing these puppy schedules?
But one that involves an 8-hour work schedule. Okay, so we can't like tailor it to you unless you join our online school, which you can go to thepuppyacademy.com, and we would be happy to tailor a schedule just for you. But anyway, so this is how it works. When you have a puppy schedule and it's on like a 90-minute schedule, that's just to give you a starting point for most 8-week-old puppies that can't hold their bladder. If you can't do that, you can very easily just set up, we actually already talked about this, so I'm not going to go in depth. You can go back and look at the questions, and there's a question about someone being at work for longer hours and what to do, what the setup is for that. Let's see.
It's also in our videos in the library of our online school. We have a lot of great resources that help you manage your schedule to your life for your puppy.
So she says that she has a lot of freedom when they're home, and she wants to train her a bit. She works from home some days, and then she's created a big chunk of other days. Minimal crying, so that's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then she comes sees her for a potty break. Try not to have your dog cry for you to give them a potty break. Try to catch them before the crying happens, because otherwise you're going to build this association with I cry, I get let out of crate.
It basically means your dog is training you. Human come, human potty, good human, good potty.
Yeah.
Your dog is training you to take him out.
And I totally understand why you're doing this, but the biggest mistake you can make is having a lot of crate during the day because you're at work, and then all this freedom when you're home. I know it's really challenging, but still offer that structure when you're home, because when you're home is when you're really going to nail the potty training and the routine of just being in crate and being out of crate, even when you're there and taking like scheduled naps basically. But yeah, you've got some training to make up for when you're home, so I might double up on that a bit, and I'd only have my puppy in the crate for 20 or 30 minutes, but I still suggest that you do that.
I just finished a lesson with the client, and they work long hours. When they come home, they want to spend more time with their dog. They don't have enough of a balance. Their dog is very high energy, very overexcitable, jumps on the kids, bites at their ankles, pretty much half the questions we've had today. So the compromise was, how much place duration and place work are you doing? They told me they were doing a little bit, but not enough. I just had their third lesson today, since it's been about 3 weeks. They've upped their place duration by about 40%. So now the dog can do about 35 to 40 minutes of place duration hanging out in one designated area on command, waiting to be released. And that's upped their time out of the crate, but also still getting good quality calm time between that. So it's like 10 minutes of walking, 15 minutes of training, movement-based work with a slower ending, and then about 30, 40 minutes of place duration because they've been working on it and building up to that. And now their dog is quite amazing. It surprised me how good they did at their lesson.
Okay, my 10-week-old puppy's been amazing with potty training, but it started raining. It's freezing cold. What do I do? He won't potty outside.
Oh, I want to give the trick we got last year. We had a client last year who sent us a video.
But it won't help them now, but you can give the trick.
I'm going to give the trick either way. It was cold. It was icy outside. The dog didn't want to put its paws on like the cold ground. So what they did is they ended up getting a patch of turf, like AstroTurf.
Oh, that's not what I thought you were going to say.
And they rolled it across their grass right up to their back door. And when they go out there, they just roll back the turf and have this fresh, uniced, somewhat not as cold grass. The dog would walk on, pee on it, they let the rain rinse it off, and they just roll it right back over.
Nice.
And that was one of the techniques they did to get their dog outside.
But you have to do that like before all of the weather hits.
Yeah.
The other thing you could do
that's true,
is
huh?
if you have like a back, but it's a great idea if you're preventative, or you can just put a piece of plywood down on the ground before weather hits.
That would
and
kill
then
the
just
grass,
lift it
though.
up. Yeah, but at least it wouldn't be like snow.
The turf though doesn't freeze.
There you go. Okay, so what you can do now, if you want, is if you have some sort of patio area, concrete area, is honestly get one of those Amazon shipped little tiny square grasses, and you can buy this or make it yourself super cheap.
Potty patch.
A little potty patch, and just go on Amazon
That's
and
the
type
brand
in
name.
potty patch. You'll find all sorts of different options, and they can send them to you monthly. And then you're gonna need to go out there with an umbrella. The other thing I would say is your puppy's a little young for this, but you need to start thinking about winter gear for your puppy. Like, don't not train your puppy just because it's freezing cold. Like, you need to take your puppy to Lowe's, Home Depot, find a local place that has like a warehouse that does classes. Like, you still need to get your puppy out right away. If they've got 2 rounds of boosters, get them out.
Hey Bethany, what's a dog's socialization period and what age should you start?
7 to 16 weeks old, so start yesterday. All
Yep.
right.
And if you miss that window, we'll see you in 6 weeks.
Okay. Oh, we have another one on here. Let's see.
No Instagram questions? We've skipped Instagram. TikTok, we love you too, but Instagram hasn't had a question
Wait,
answered.
they haven't asked a question because Instagram doesn't send cool emojis and make us look awesome.
Oh, sure. We did get that corgi butt. You missed the corgi butt. We got some serious butt.
Okay. You find one?
Here we go.
I have a Lab-Terrier. Oh, bless your heart. I had to take her to work for the first time because she started barking and screaming. Well, I don't
That's the lab.
I don't have age,
And
but
terrier.
you have to. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm really not. But you have to train these dogs to be able to handle those situations. You don't just take your dog to work. I mean, if you have to one day, then I hope it's crate trained at home so it can just sit calmly in the corner and crate until you can take them outside to walk them. But every time you work with your puppy, it needs to be, if you want to go anywhere with your puppy, it needs to be able to build them up to be able to do this. Did you get to work 15 minutes early? Did you spend your break working with your dog, around everything going on, and eat your lunch, eat your string cheese and feed your dog some string cheese? Like, you're gonna have to find ways to work your dog in those environments to teach them how you want them to behave. The fact that he was screaming and barking tells me he's nowhere near ready to be in that type of environment, and you need to be working in your neighborhood, at local parks, going to Lowe's or Home Depot. You need to be doing other things to build him up to be able to handle your workspace.
I trained service animals for 6 months to a year in outdoor and partial indoor existence in very advanced ways, and that's after a lot of prior training to that before they can handle being in some kind of like indoor environment with people walking around, talking, loudspeakers, whatever it is. So you probably got some ways to go to that. You might look into doing Canine Good Citizen with a local trainer by you, because it's ambassador of the breed training. It's what a lot of service animals do to get them to the point to where they start their task training.
All right, guys, if you did not get your questions answered, I apologize. I'm sorry that we're getting so many questions. But what you can do is please resubmit, and we will prioritize your resubmissions next week. I promise. All right, guys, same time, same place next week.
I'll get smile.
Bye. Oh.